Hi everyone, welcome back to Kamaya Designs. I'm Sandra. I'm an artist and illustrator based in Houston, Texas, and today I'm going to share with you all the tips and tricks that I picked up while starting my YouTube channel with just my cell phone. So let's go. So basically, when I started this YouTube channel, I literally had a phone and like a little tripod gooseneck thing to use for recording my art. The first maybe 10 or so videos, I can't remember exactly how many there were, but there were multiple videos where I just talked and all you saw were my hands because I was too shy to be on camera. I was too uncomfortable with it, afraid to like, I don't know what, but I was never like ready to record myself. So I just used my phone and I looked for a stand, which I'm still using right now. I will prop it in the description. I will let you know exactly the one that I bought, that I use, that I'm still using. My first video is from October 1st of 2019. It was the first day of Inktober. It was my first official Inktober that I shared with like the world on video. So yeah, it was nerve-wracking, but I made my illustrations with ink and water brushes, and so I needed something else to hold my camera because it wasn't like I could draw with one hand and hold the phone with one hand. I tried that before, but then it just moves and the quality isn't the best. So I bought this thing, which I have up here right now. It just leans forward this way, so you can kind of see it has a clip for the phone. It twists and turns, so I can kind of hook my phone on it this way and just move it around wherever I need it to be and record like whatever is on. And for the bottom portion of it, it's just one of these clamps that you can twist to make larger or smaller and attach it to the corner of your desk or the side of your desk. I highly recommend, if you're drawing on one desk, to put this attached to a different surface or a different platform, just because as you're drawing you're probably moving around and moving the desk. I know when I do I almost broke it. I know when I draw or paint or something, like my arm is on the desk and shakes it and moves it a lot, so then the image gets blurry and then it shakes the camera and it moves it. So if you want to have something stable, for me, my setup is a little bit different now. I kind of have an L-shaped desk, and the second part of the L over here is not, they're not touching, so they're kind of like superimposed like this and they swivel. So I use this bottom section and I clamp it on here and I put it over this top section where I'm actually drawing, so that it doesn't move like when I'm drawing and I don't move the actual my phone that's on the clamp. So the next thing is which camera on your phone to use. You have the option of using your rear camera, which is the better one, or your front facing camera, which is the one where you can see yourself. So in the beginning, the mistake that I made was to record all my videos with the front facing camera, and initially you think it makes sense. I can see what I'm doing, I can see myself if I have like hair out of place, which most of the time I do, or if I have like things in my eyes, you know, whatever. You want to make sure you look good, you everything set up, like everything behind you makes sense, you're not showing things you shouldn't with your address on it or anything like that. So I did that for my very first video and most of the videos after that. Honestly, up until I want to say December of this past year, I was maybe November or December, I was still using my front facing camera, and someone had mentioned something somewhere in one of the older videos that I watched, and I had heard it before but I never really caught on, and just like it didn't sink in. But this time I heard it and I thought, oh wait, I completely forgot to switch, since I've been making videos with my face. And so because when I record what I'm doing, I am looking at what's on the screen, and so the back camera or the regular camera is recording my art, and that always came out with a very good quality, versus when I was doing the front facing, there's a lot of glare, there's a lot of backlighting that goes, I don't know the official photography and videography terms, but there was a lot of glare that came back. So if ever I was trying to show like a piece of paper or something that I wrote on a piece of paper, by the time it zoomed or before it zoomed, whenever I would lift up something very light or white, that light would bounce back into the lens, and then it would show somewhere around here on the screen. If you've watched some of my previous videos and vlogs, you've seen that, and I've talked about it and complained about it. So yeah, that was why that was happening. So since I switched and flipped the camera around, I haven't had any of these problems. And the best trick for that is to just have like a regular tripod stand. The one that I'm using, my camera is on, so I can't show it, but I will show it in a clip here because I'm gonna do these montages afterwards. I think I got this one from Walmart for like $20 or $30 here in the US. I mean, it wasn't like super cheap or expensive. It was just kind of like what I expected it to be. And honestly, I have had this thing for over a year, and it's the sturdiest that I've ever gotten. This thing, which I currently have my secondary mic on, this little flimsy thing came with my camera, my very expensive camera. I'm not putting my camera on this thing. It wobbles. The end here never stays sturdy. So no, this is for the microphone because this can fall. I'm not caring as much about that as I am about this. So yeah, get a sturdy tripod that you can affix your camera on. They come with these clamps. I have one that I use from Amazon as well. It's from the brand Alon or however you say that, but it basically swivels. I love it because it can turn, so I can put my phone on here, just clamp it this way, and I can turn it whether I want it horizontal or vertical. So if I'm doing an IG story, for example, hands-free, pop my phone on there, tie this portion, hook it up to the other tripod, and I'm good to go. And for the most part, it's very easy. You know, you just unscrew this, place your phone, however thick or thin your phone is, it fits perfectly, tighten this up, and bam. As long as I don't drop it. Have your phone, you can do your video this way. If you need to turn it, do your video that way, and you're good to go. And for me, when I started using the rear camera, it was really handy to have that, and all I did was place a regular mirror, like, you know, those little makeup mirrors, or the ones that people use to like stare at their pores, just a little round one that swivels, and I just put it behind my phone so I could see the reflection and kind of make sure that I was like framed properly, like my head wasn't cut off, or I wasn't like too close, or the camera was recording the wrong thing, because that's happened. I filmed like 15 minutes of something with the camera facing the wall. So the next thing that I'm gonna give you a tip on is your lighting. So a lot of people, before I even had my lighting, which is over there, I haven't used since I've upgraded to this wonderful camera. I haven't really needed to. The lights are really bright in here, and even though it's kind of behind me, the camera adjusted to what I needed it to be. So tell me what you think. If this is good, too bright, too light, not enough, whatever, and I'll go back to bringing my ring light. But right now I don't think I need it unless I'm sitting on that side of the room. So anyway, if you have daylight, you should be good to go. But the trick is, don't have the light face the camera. So here's a prime example. We're gonna use this little baby Nutella, and it's going to be our light source. This is my sunlight. My windows are wherever in the room. So if my sunlight is coming from here and my camera is where this camera is, I'm good, because this is going to light up my face. The light is not going to go into the lens and turn everything that it's looking at dark or into like silhouette and dark shapes, because it's not going glaringly into the lens. If you have the light behind the lens, so if my little jar and my sunlight is behind the camera, now I'm out here squinting because the light is right in my eyes. It's super bright. It's going to wash out my face completely because it'll be too bright if I'm in direct sunlight. If, however, I am further in the room and the light source is still coming in my direction, now my face is lit up perfectly, you can use that as well. Just never be in very, very direct sunlight, because that always makes it too bright and then your contrasts are too stark, and it also kind of like it makes it very distracting for the eye because there are too many elements that are very bright and like in your face. So try to keep everything in like a smooth lighting. I used to record in front of a window, but like it was in front of the window in front of the house, so there was like a big section of it where the light hit in the front yard and just bounced back over to me from the driveway where I was sitting, but it wasn't like the sun is in my face. Something interesting is, I cannot explain this phenomenon, but in this room there are no windows. I would pan around, but it's not super clean yet. It's not finished. I'm still setting up the room, so I won't show. But I literally just have bookshelves, wall, door, and another wall. There are no windows. This light is just super bright and it's a white light, so it makes the room feel like there's a big window over here, or like an overhead window, which I love because I need it for art. I need light, so it looks really good on camera as well. I mean, you'll tell me how good it looks, but I think it looks way better than what I had before. So I'm really glad, because even at night, if I need to film, the lighting will always be like this. The lighting will not change, and that's kind of what you want. If you're able to replicate or mimic something like that, then you're going to be in very good shape. Next, I'm gonna share with you some of the apps that I used to basically edit my videos and post them to YouTube. So what I will call my ride or die app. This is basically the same app I've been using for the 2 years that I have been making YouTube videos, or the year and a half. Yes, roughly a year and a half that I've been making YouTube videos. Not consistently. Please don't go count the number of videos I have on there. They're not consistent to how long I've been on YouTube. It's all right. But this app is called InShot, and it is just this red one here with the square, the white square. You see that? Yes. It's called InShot. There is a free version of it that you can use. You can do almost all the things. I started with the free version, then I paid $10 for like the year, and it lets me save my own favorites. It lets me upload a bunch of my own music. They have their own music library, which most of my videos from the beginning up until Vlogmas, I believe, the first Vlogmas on my channel, all the videos almost before then were the music library that comes with InShot, and I never had an issue with it. And then on one of the videos, I'm gonna say, I forget which one of my studio vlogs, maybe the third or fourth studio vlog, I randomly got a notice from YouTube that one of the songs on my video belonged to somebody else, but it was the same song throughout the video. So I'm not sure what really caused, it wasn't a strike, but it was almost like a warning, hey, you can't monetize this video because there's like, between here and here, there's somebody else's content that doesn't belong to you. And I tried to listen, and I'm guessing it must have picked up on like the television, like my kids are watching shows, and there might have been someone else's video from YouTube playing on TV, because the song that I was using, I just replayed the same song over and over, and I'll talk about the music in a second as well, but I just use the same song throughout the video. So I didn't think it was the music, but just to be on the safe side, I ended up paying for a subscription with Epidemic Sound, who I use currently, and I love them. The library is immense, and I can find almost everything that I need, like the moods and the themes and the styles and all of that. So I've been with Epidemic Sound since, I'm gonna say roughly November, when I started like prepping for Vlogmas, like around that time. But yeah, up until then I didn't need it. I was using the music library here, and I've never had any issue with anything else from this app up until just that one video. So it might still be fine, but just to be on the safe side, you can also use the YouTube music library. I know they don't have a lot of options, but I've heard that they've added a lot since when I started, and you'll kind of hear a lot of the very similar songs that a lot of people are using. But if you search a little more and like delve a little deeper, you can grab the songs that not everybody uses, and so you'll have some more options. Otherwise, Epidemic Sound is $15 a month, and it gives you the peace of mind that you know your songs. You can use them for all your platforms as long as you just note that they're from epidemicsound.com. There won't be any trouble. And even when you cancel your subscription, the videos that you've previously uploaded with you know, while you had your subscription active, they can't be messed with either. So those are safe. You don't have to go and change your music or re-upload videos or anything like that, which is an aspect that I absolutely loved about them. So just in case I can't afford to keep them for too long and I have to like go back to using YouTube Library or something, I don't have to worry about any content that's post-dated or pre-dated, whatever the word is, that is prior to me canceling. And since I mentioned already music, lighting, the app itself, so I think, I mean, this is a really short and sweet video. It was really just like to give a few tips on what I did and how I did it. If you want a more in-depth where I actually show the process of editing videos on my phone, just leave a comment below and let me know that you'd love to see that, because I know that it's affected. Like if you're making art like I am, there are some different types of things that you would probably want to include, but I know not everybody who watches me is an artist, and so I just wanted to keep this a little bit broad for everyone that's interested in this kind of information. So I spoke a little fast. I hope you still got everything that I was mentioning. I will link everything in the description below. I will link the videos that I mentioned up here in the cards, and if there's anything that you want to know that I didn't cover, please make sure to let me know below in the description. If you enjoyed this, give it a like. It helps other people find this video that can help them as well. And if you enjoy my art and my studio vlogs, like, stick around, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.